Afternoon, Rihanna. We've just hit load shedding here in Durbanville. So myself, Councillor Meyerling and Councillor Acker will sign on as soon as we can.
Thank you very much, Councillor Swart. We take note.
Rihanna, can you hear me now?
Yes, thank you, Chairperson. We can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, that's good. Apologies for that. The moment we started, it appears that there was blackouts again and I couldn't connect on my computer, but I've been connected now on my cell phone and it appears to be working in that way. Okay, up to where could you hear me? So, did you hear me when we dealt with, so we were finalized, let me see just where we were. Disclosure of interest, were you hearing me at that stage?
Chairperson, we were still with Impact 3612, the attendance of members. I was still busy informing you that we also received an apology from our municipal manager, Mr. Strato. And I also wanted to inform you that Mr. Jan Willem de Jager is also present via Zoom, as well as Ms. Mercy James. And also for you to note that Mr. Jan Willem de Jager has requested to be excused at 14:30.
Okay, good. Thank you. Okay.
16:30.
Okay, then we're done with the attendance. And then the noting of Schedule 7, that's noted then. And then we go with the disclosure of interest. Anyone who needs to disclose anything at this stage? Nothing? Okay, then, okay, the purpose of today's meeting then is to finalize the report of impact to council. And at this stage, I have nothing else to add, but for the fact that we had previous meetings and the AG report was presented on the 2nd. We also gave an opportunity to councillors to respond. And of course, in today's meeting, people will also be free to comment or make recommendations or whatever they need to be. Although I don't think we can allow new items at this late stage, but we will come there when we will give the opportunity to councillors to raise any matters at this stage. So Impact 4012, that's then the approval of the minutes of the 31st of October. May I ask, are there any comments on the accuracy of that minutes? Otherwise, if there is someone who wants to propose for the approval thereof, any comments on that?
Chair, I move that we accept the minutes as listed.
That's Mr. Swart.
That's right, Chair.
Okay, and the secondant?
I second the Chair.
Mr. Malloy? Second. Right, then that minutes is moved as correct.
Kinders van die wind. Kinders van die wind. Kinders van die wind.
Wie is daar met die kinders van die wind bezig? Jy moet net jou speaker afsit. Matters for consideration then is the oversight report from page 15 to 33. Now at this stage, I'm not going to present the whole report again. There are only certain items that I may highlight. If we go to the report from page 15, I'm going there now. Almost there. Okay, so the purpose of this meeting and the report is then to present the oversight report on the annual report and to submit the recommendation to council for consideration. I'm now on page 15 of the report. And in the executive summary, it starts with the 21-22 annual report was presented to the committee on the 30th of August. And 2nd of December, the report was advertised for public inputs and comments on the 30th of August. and it was submitted to the Provincial Treasury and Provincial Department of Local Government, as well as the Office of the Auditor General. That is of importance because that is items that's required from us by law. And on page 16, under item 5, the recommendations is then that Council adopts the oversight report and the 21-22 annual report without reservations. And then from the accounting officer side, to make the oversight public within 7 days, and to submit the oversight to the provincial legislature within 7 days, and to develop an action plan to address the issues raised in the AG report, and monitor the progress. And in number 5, that the audit action plan progress be presented to APAC and MPAC on a quarterly basis. And number 6, that Council refer the irregular expenditure to MPAC for investigation. That's the 16.4 million for the current year and the 3.3 million for the prior year. And item 7, that Council writes off the irregular expenditure. Now, as I've said, I'm not going to read the whole report. It was made available. I just want to bring your attention to page 20. The purpose of the annual report is to provide a record of all activities of the municipality, to provide a report on performance against what it needs to be, and to promote accountability to the local community for decisions made. And then there's a few other items that I just want to stress. On page 21, the responsibilities of MPAC, amongst others, to consider and to evaluate the annual report as tabled in Council, and thereafter make recommendations to Council in this regard, and to compile an oversight report and table in Council and make recommendations for Council's consideration. That's why we are for today. And Provincial Treasury, I'm now on page 22, raised 2 issues that the municipality should address before making the report final. And these were the forward of the municipal manager, which should have included information on internal management changes, and information related to the revenue trend by source income, including borrowings, and then the BEE compliance performance information, as well as the naming convention of the strategic objectives in the annual report, and that it's aligned with the IDP, but not with the SDP. That was the only requirements. And then after that, the Auditor General presented the report of the committee on the 2nd of December. And as you all know by now, there was no material findings, and it was regarded as a clean audit. There was 3 issues raised, and that was 1, the material impairments, of which 90% relates to the fire services. Can you still hear me, Rihanna?
Yes, Chairperson, we can hear you loud and clear.
Sorry, because something happened to my phone, and I'm very sensitive for losing it now. So 90% of the impairment relates to the fire services accounts, which is not collectible. That is an ongoing thing for years now, which we are attending to. The second one was the contingent liability, which relates to the NAISNA properties, where the 2 municipalities are in dispute on the ownership. And the third one was the underspending of the roads department in the amount of 96 million. That was the only 3 items raised. And the committee took note of that 3 matters, and it was included in the audit action plan that was submitted by management to this committee on the 2nd of December. Having said that, in the report on page 26, we state that the committee remained concerned that in the long run, the municipality might find itself in a non-financial viable position due to a number of factors, which we have discussed already on a number of occasions, and to which we are attending to. And then in the report, we deal with, I'm now on page 28 of 33. The finding there was no unauthorized expenditure, and there was a table of, and a summary of irregular expenditure, of which two amounts, 12 million and 16.4 relates to contracts that were entered into previous financial years, and those contracts that were declared irregular, and there has been reported extensively in the past. And on our meeting on the 31st of October, we recommended that an amount of 7.5 that relates to the 2011 financial year be written off. And the other 32 million was also a open balance irregular expenditure of 7.5 million that wasn't processed by council. And I think that is there was one other item on page 31, fruitless and wasteful expenditure. There's a list, a table giving that information. And there was the management already prepared an action plan to address the issues raised by the AG. And the action plan was presented to the committee on the 2nd of December. The Auditor General also confirmed that the fact that management take findings issued by the Auditor General seriously, and that is one of the reasons of sustaining the clean audit. Of course, the progress in the action plan should be closely monitored and reported to MPAC and APAC as previously stated. And regarding performance information, there were no findings. That concludes the report. Of course, it remains a significant achievement for us to get a clean audit. And my recommendation is then that we present this report to council on the 14th of December. And I will now give the opportunity for anyone who wants to speak on the report and the contents thereof and the approval or anything else on that. Are there any people? Is there any people who wants to, any person who wants to say anything or to comment or to add?
Chairperson, you have a hand. Our Lady Lechaba.
Mrs. Lechaba, you're welcome.
Thank you, Chairperson. Chairperson, I've read through the report that was presented to us. I'm not going to say much other than to say that I have stated, and I just wanted to state again in this meeting, my reservations of the presentation of the annual report, particularly from the financial statement area. And I want to say it on record that one also understand that when an audit is being done, the methodology of it, it's a selective, meaning that it doesn't do the whole thing, and therefore it's upon ourselves as members, and if we pick up anything that we think it might be material, it might not be material, but for me, I would like it to be noted that one is that AG confirmed that they did not audit the payments in the year of leave for senior managers. Therefore, for me, it's a concern having to look at the Garden Route District Municipality policy. I've looked in it, and it states that a senior manager can cash it. That's the word they use. It can encash only instances that it was not granted leave based on matters of organizational matters. So because of that, and because it was not audited, so we might not understand, we do not have the paperwork, we do not understand how come. And also it states that you must have 48 leave days and not beyond that, otherwise you forfeit it. So all that for me, therefore I have my reservation for payments in lieu of senior managers, that they were paid and that was not audited. Number two, it's the gratuity exit. The calculations, I still believe that the calculations that were made in terms of the payments were calculated retrospectively without a council resolution, and also without the policy. The policy doesn't state it must be implemented retrospectively. So from my side, I find it that there is a irregularity there. Whether it's material or not, that is upon audit. But for me, I'm flagging these areas. And also, by the way, the one-off payments of leave, I think it's in the country, there is a serious in fact, there is a case in law that is in making, National Prosecuting Authority versus Kanaland senior managers of a case of 2021. So that is why I am flagging it. I am saying it that I am not comfortable because it was not audited. I wanted to state that, and then also the gratuity exit in terms of retrospectively. Also that the AG has in terms of basic salary, according to the upper limits, they have also alluded that they did not, there is a legal opinion that we are still waiting on. They didn't make an opinion on that, and they are consulting their legal team. Hence, now we will have to wait for the outcome of, in terms of the basic salary, in terms of upper limits for 2021. And also in terms of 2022, I think there was also some portion of the basic salary that needed a waiver. So we are still waiting that in terms of that audit outcome of that particular item. Therefore, Chairperson, and also in terms of this particular and oversight report from myself, it doesn't have, which is supposed to have. It's supposed to have a comments, and we should have also got the comments coming from the audit committee so that we can be able to view and to see what is their report, whether we incorporate it. It's supposed to be incorporated and also to be noted by this committee on the oversight, and that it's not in this report. And therefore, because of all of those, and under unauthorized, where we're saying that there's no unauthorized in the year in review, I do not believe that. It's just because of the time span that we were given between getting the results from the audit and also to do this oversight report. I also don't think it's fair, because we needed to go and check and to do check and balance as the committee, to check what was there, what was declared and what was not declared. And therefore, because of all of those, I therefore, as Elder Lady Lichaba, I have reservation on this, on the outcome.
Okay,
Thank you,
thank you.
Chairperson. That's my
Thank you.
submission.
Yeah, okay, good. Thank you. We will note that. And in response, I think it's fair for me just to respond on that, in the sense that I think the fact that the Auditor General verbally gave certain information on the meeting the day when he reported is actually very strange to me. After you've presented your audit and your report, to then afterwards come and say verbally on a meeting, listen, I haven't done that and I'm still looking at that. And I honestly, as far as I'm concerned, I just don't believe him. If that was the case, it would have been in his report. So secondly, what I want to say is, it is the nature of an audit that you cannot audit every transaction in a municipality. It's not possible to do that. So then to state that a report is incomplete or not correct when every single transaction is not audited in a municipality, it's impossible to do that. That is the nature of an audit, to do spot checks and to audit in a certain structured way. So I think we need not to create the impression that the Auditor General did not do a proper job when auditing Garden Route District municipality. So there's a lot of other things that they also didn't audit, or that they don't audit when they audit. Regarding the leave policy, I think you can bring that point again to the agenda of our next meeting. There's nothing wrong with that. And then the gratuity exit and the interpretation thereof, we dealt with that on our previous meetings. And I believe we differ on the interpretation of that. But fortunately, we are now waiting for province to come back to us and the upper limits, etc., during which time we will definitely have the opportunity to look at that again. So I think that's the only comments that I want to make on your presentation, and I want to thank you for being thorough as always, and speak your mind when it's necessary to do so. We will continue, allow you to do that, and we will continue to be an effective watchdog when it comes to compliance in what we need to do. Is there anyone else who wants to say anything or to comment on the report?
Chairperson,
Yes, Chair.
Mr. Swart and Rihanna, who was next?
Councillor Malloy is first, Chairperson.
Say again, sorry.
Councillor Malloy.
Okay, first Mr. Swart and then Mr. Malloy.
Afternoon, Chair. I've got Councillor Meyering here with me. He's battling with his sound, so he's going to speak through my laptop.
Okay, good.
Yes,
Thank you.
Chair, if I may, thank you. I think just on a, well, let's say a lighter note, I think it is no small achievement, the fact that we've achieved a clean audit again, despite possible reservations. I think we're getting almost used to this. Even then, it's a huge achievement, and congratulations to the staff and everybody that worked on this report. It's an immense achievement. Very well done. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you for that. Mr. Malloy?
Yes, Chair. Just the following comments. The methodology followed by the AG is a well-known accounting principle that they follow, and I think it's a universal principle that they follow. I also wanted to say that I think the person from the Auditor General, he raised these two things that Councillor Chaba has raised, the payments in lieu of leave, as well as the gratuity thing. According to him, that was flagged They went through it and they find nothing material there. That was his words. I think I further want to congratulate Mrs. Lichaba also for her contribution towards making sure that there's no improper things going on at our municipality. She did a sterling job as a previous chairperson, and I think she would be in breach of her oath as a councillor if she doesn't raise these issues. However, as far as I'm concerned, I am well satisfied with what was presented to us and what is presented here, and I would accept this without any reservations, as is, and without any findings. As you said, Chair, that those other issues that Councillor Chaba has still reservations on, those issues can then be raised again. And the AG also concluded, and in his report he says that if anything comes up in the meantime that is material to his findings, he would have a look at that and then he would change the outcome of the audit as well. That is what is in the report and what he was reporting. So I would propose that we accept the recommendations as it is there, Chair. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Malloy. Anything else? Any remarks?
Chairperson, you have another hand, Councillor Cronje.
Mr. Cronje, it's your turn.
Thank you, Chair. I want to congratulate the staff, Chair. In simple terms, job well done. And therefore, I want to second the proposal by my colleague, Councillor Malloy. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments or remarks? Okay, so I don't think, Mr. Loliwe, you must help me if I'm not correct. I don't think we need to have a voting on this. This is the report that we present. We have Mrs. Lechaba's reservations noted, and this report will then go through. Or do we need to vote on it in our meeting? I don't think so.
Chairperson, apologies. It's Jan Willem.
Yes, Jan Willem.
Sorry, Chair. Now, if you'll allow me, I just want to make just 2 comments on what has been discussed, if you don't mind.
Okay, you're welcome.
I just want to say that it has been mentioned numerous times that the Auditor General said that on the matters that Councillor Lechaba also raised, that further consultation will take place. What I wanted to say is, even though the matter of the executivity is also part of what province is doing, the AG actually concluded that they were happy with the calculations and the application. So I just wanted the committee to note that. And then on the waiver and the upper limits, etc., that further consultation is then going to take place regarding that matter. I also just wanted to, I think the MM mentioned this at our last meeting, but I just want to also mention to the committee that these matters were actually reported to the AG by management. So we actually took these allegations to them to audit. And it is a bit unfortunate, perhaps, that the Auditor General only on the 29th of November, they actually raised this as a COMAF. So you will know that COMAFs, you have got 5 days to respond, and then the AG has time to respond. And then we had a discussion that due to the timelines we were trying to meet and the dates of the audit report to be signed off on the 30th, the Auditor General then agreed, because it is in their assessment not a material matter. They were completely happy to sign off the report, because I wanted to say that, because I don't know, Chair, if it was your comment or if I understood it correctly, about the AG's opinion and things he was unsure of whether he completed it or not. But I just wanted to say, and the AG themselves confirmed that at the meeting they had with Impact earlier, Impact APAC, is that they are completely confident of what they have audited, their opinion, and they are clear on this outstanding matter. And even taking into account the fact that portions of those allegations are still outstanding, they are completely confident in issuing their opinion. And also the issuing of their opinion also has various processes on their side where their audit work also gets audited. They call it a pre-issuance review. So it isn't as if that team themselves can decide on the final outcome. There are various control measures in place for the AG, which I'm sure they can report on if the committee wants to know more. So I just wanted to say that for the committee to note. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. In that case, I can even withdraw my remark, which I believe will not be a minute that I didn't believe what he was saying. So, Jan Willem, just help me here, or Mr. Loliwe. Am I right to say that the AG cannot now come back and qualify his report? He has made his report. He's functus officio now. Am I right?
Can I come in, Chair?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, Chair, you are 100% correct. I think what the CFO is trying to say is that they did an assessment. They assessed the allegation. They look at non-compliance. They look at they quantified the figures and everything, and are confident whether the results are positive or negative, they will not be material, and therefore they will not affect the audit opinion. If they assess that as material, they will not have issued the audit report. The reason why they issued the audit report is because they've assessed the whole matter as immaterial. They've done quite a lot of work. As the CFO said, on our first meeting with the Office of the Auditor General, we declared this matter and we submitted everything to them on the first meeting. So they had this matter with them and they made the assessment that is immaterial.
Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you. Now that clarifies a lot of things. Thank you, Jan Willem, and thank you, Mr. Loliwe.
Chairperson?
Okay. Yes,
Chairperson?
Mrs. Lechaba.
Sorry?
Yes.
Sorry, Chair. Chair, I just wanted to ask, based on what you were just asked, I would wonder if in an instance that undisclosures were not done, that they might be of a material nature, then what happens? That if you find out after a time, in between this time, that there were undisclosures not been made. As I said in my thing, that I feel that because we didn't have enough time, I feel that there were some disclosures that were not made. Then what happens?
Mrs. Lechaba, my view on that is, I'll give Mr. Loliwe also a chance. In law, when an official of state or government, or on which level doesn't matter, signed off on a decision that he or she made, then that person is functus officio. And once an official is functus officio, he can't change his mind. He can't change whatever he wants to change. That can only be changed on review by a court.
Okay.
Mr. Loliwe and Jan Willem, am I correct when I say that?
Okay.
Thank you, Chair. It's Lusanda Menze. You are spot on.
Yes, Mr. Menze.
Yes, indeed, you are spot on 100% that they are functus officio in this instance, because even if I were to follow up on the question that was asked by Ada Literature, but then the Auditor General would not have expressed an opinion in that case, because there would still be outstanding issues, but now they've satisfied themselves with what they have received. And therefore now they can't change the decision. They would have to, that would mean to go to court and then to enable them to change that particular decision. The CFO has clarified in detail the level of reviews that are taking place within the Auditor General's office before they can actually issue a report, because any changes on a report after they've issued them, it will also put their integrity at risk. So they would not have risked that by just recklessly issuing a report without doing proper due diligence. Thank you, Chairperson.
Okay, thank you for that. Okay, no, I think that clarifies everything. And just to comfort everybody, if things comes up in future, there are other ways to deal with it. So things will never be just honorary mat ingeveer and then it's gone. But the audit is final, and our report is adopted, and it will be presented to council for approval. So this is the procedure, and I am happy, and I'll be with you. I'm happy and comfortable that this was a thorough process, and all of the reports that needed to be taken into account, including the APAC report that Mrs. Letaba referred to. I had privy to have insight in all that reports before we finalized this report. Who was that, Mr. Malloy?
Yes, Chair. I just want to direct your attention to paragraph 30 in the audit report.
Yes, I don't have it in front of me. You can read it for me.
If Rihanna can go there, it reads as follows. I did not receive the other information prior to the date of this audited report. When I do receive and read this information, and if I conclude that there is a material misstatement therein, I am required to communicate the matter to those charged with governance and request that the other information be corrected. If the other information is not corrected, I may have to retract this auditor's report and reissue an amended report as appropriate. However, if it is corrected, then this will not be necessary. So I think that is maybe the answer that Councillor Letaba is looking for, and that is included in the auditor's report. But however, as you stated, it is done and dusted. Thank you, Chair.
Very much, Chair. Yeah, thank you very much, Councillor. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Is there any other person who wants to comment or make any remarks? If not, then this meeting will conclude. There is still Sorry, is someone speaking?
Yes, Mr. Jan Willem de Jager raised his hand, Chairperson. And
yes, Jan Willem, you're welcome.
Sorry, Chairperson. I again just feel I have to just give the correct information to the impact. The paragraph that Councillor Malloy referred the committee to, as he has read, it starts with, it says, I did not receive the other information prior to the date of the report. And that information refers to information in the annual report. It doesn't refer to anything in the financial statement. So for instance, if the annual report were to have a table of expenditure in the district, for instance, that you wouldn't see in the financial statements, and what they then do is they do a consistency review with all the other information in the annual report to make sure that even though they don't audit the entire annual report, there is nothing in there that contradicts the information that they have audited. So that paragraph does not refer to anything that they have audited in the financial statements. It is what they call the other information, which is all the other paragraphs and strategic objectives and all those other information in the annual report that they can review for consistency's sake. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that clarification. Okay, then this concludes this meeting.
Chairperson,
yes, Rihanna.
Mr. Loliwe raised his hand, Chairperson. And then also, Chairperson, we still need to discuss the enclosed minutes.
Yeah, I will do that. We will proceed with that then.
Okay, but Mr. Loliwe raised his hand, please.
Mr. Loliwe?
Thank you, Chairman. To go back to this, I just want to add on what the CFO has just explained. Currently, the AG has actually done that. They provided us with that information today, and there are no material misstatements to our annual report. So that even that paragraph will then change to say we have reviewed and there are no material misstatement. Normally they do that in January or March if the annual report is only adopted then. But we must submit an audited annual report. So the errors that they've picked up, we have to amend before the council meeting. But I can confirm that there are no material misstatements in the annual report. They have actually sent us that information today.
Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, that concludes that meeting. If we can then quickly go to the enclosed meeting. You have received the agenda for that. And let me go there. If we can go through the standard items of opening and welcoming and attendance, noting of the provisions and disclosure of interests. Rihanna, I believe all the councillors are still in attendance. The verskoning wat gemaak is, dit staan nog steeds.
Chairperson, just hold on, please. I would just like to stop the YouTube recording. Just hold on for me, please.
Okay, thank you.